Many years ago, in the beautiful city of Owerri, there lived a handsome man whose name was Ozoemena. Ozoemena was a very wealthy businessman who sold building materials and had several shops scattered around Owerri. And he was married to a beautiful woman whose name was Nkem. And together they had three beautiful daughters whose names were Adaeze, Chinelo, and Ifunanya, and they were a very happy family and lived together in unity. Ozoemena was never worried that he did not have a male child. He was very proud of his daughters. And even when his friends would tease him at the market and say, Ozo, when will you have a son? If your wife would not give you a son, why not look for another small girl that would give you a son instead of here having just daughters who will carry your name after you are gone? His friends will say to him. But Ozoemena will just smile and reply and say, my dear friends, it's not by having sons. Oh. You see this, my daughters, by the time I will start reaping the benefit of having daughters, all of you will start being jealous of me. Oh. Have you forgotten that we are from NBC? And do you know what the bride price list looks like in NBC? When the bride price starts coming, when I start charging my future son-in-laws with all the expensive things that they would buy for me, at that point, you all will become jealous of me and would wish that you also have as many daughters as I do. Ozoemena would say and laugh it off. Ozoemena never allowed himself to be pressured into taking a second wife just so he could have a son. His eyes was focused on the future. His eyes was focused on the bride price list that he was going to receive when his daughters grew up and start getting married. Sometimes he would even tease his children, his first daughter Ada, and say, Ada, Gunwa, you are my akpa rice. Meaning that Ada was his bag of rice. And he would turn to his second daughter Chinelo and say, Gunwa, you are my London visa. Then he would turn to his last daughter Ifunanya and say, Gunwa, you are my Lexus 350. He was so proud of his daughters and couldn't wait to start reaping the fruit of his labor. He loved his girls so much and trained them well. He sent them to the very best of schools, he bought books and encouraged them to read. He wanted the absolute best for them. And his wife Nkim was not left behind. She would call her daughters from time to time, especially Daisy, and school her on why she had to be responsible, on why she had to keep herself, work with wisdom, and at the end marry well. She would often tell her first daughter Adaeze that she needed to marry well so that her younger sisters would also marry well. And Adaeze would listen to her mother's words, soaking each and every word that she says. So it was no surprise that Adaeze grew up to be very intelligent and responsible. She worked very hard, and after her secondary school education, she applied to the university to study medicine and surgery at the University of Ibadan, and she got admission to study medicine. Her father, Ozoemena, was so proud of her, and he would sing her praises before his friends. My daughter is studying medicine and surgery. My daughter is going to become a medical doctor. I can only imagine what I would charge her future husband before he would take her as his wife, because I must reap the fruit of my labor. Ozoemena would say very proudly. He was so proud of his children, especially Adaeze. A few years later, Adaeze graduated from the university with distinction, and she stayed back in Ibadan and was working as a medical doctor, and she was being paid well. So one day she met a handsome young man whose name was Kunle, who was also a medical doctor working in the same hospital as she was. Kunle fell in love with her immediately. It was love at first sight for him. They spent time together gisting and laughing. And barely 3 months later, Kunle was convinced that he wanted to spend the rest of his life with Adaeze. So one day, while they were hanging out, he looked at her and said, my love, Ada, I think I want to come and see your father Let us make this official. I love you. I cannot breathe without you. You're the oxygen in my lungs. Please, I want to marry you. When would you allow me to come and see your dad? Kunle asked. Ada looked at him in shock. Ah, Kunle, I love you too, but don't you think it's quite early? Ada replied. And Kunle looked at her again and said, early? No now. I know yes, it's just been a few months, but I am sure beyond every conviction that you're the one that I want to spend the rest of my life with. You're the one for me, Kunle said. And even though Ada loved him, she was scared because she knew that she was from Mbisi and she knew very well that their bride price list was too much and she did not know how Kunle would react to it. She didn't know what to expect. But because Kunle was persistent, he kept on calling and telling her that he needed to see her father, he wanted to marry her. So one day she decided to take him to go visit her father. So one day, Kunle and Ada arrived at Ada's home, and Kunle, as a proper, well-brought-up Yoruba man that he was, he went on his face to greet her father Ozoemena. Ah, Daddy, good afternoon, sir. Oh, Daddy, good afternoon, sir. Kunle said. And Ozoemena was very pleased. Good afternoon, young man. Oh, please rise up. Please sit down. So, Kunle sat down. Ada went ahead with introductions and introduced Kunle as the love of her life, the one she wanted to spend the rest of her life with. Her father was very impressed and welcomed him warmly. So Kunle went ahead and made his intentions known to Ozoemena. He told him that he wanted to marry his daughter and so had come to make enquiries about what it would take to marry her. Ozoemena simply looked at him and smiled and said, Nna, you're welcome to my home. But I will forgive you because you're not from the eastern part of Nigeria. If you're coming to ask for the requirements to marry my daughter and you came alone by yourself without any elders from your family. Anyway, I would assume that our cultures are different. But in our place, you do not come by yourself to make inquiries. You have to come with an elder, a kinsman, who would speak on your behalf. By the way, do you know who you are marrying? You are marrying the first daughter of this family, Adam Bise, Aduku, Adaneri Kwano. My first daughter, the strength of my youth. Mbano, Eme, Igabia Ofuma. No, 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 no. They don't do things like that. You will come very well, properly. But I would forgive you because you're a Yoruba man. So my dear son, for you to come and make inquiries first of all, you have to come with somebody from your family and you don't come empty-handed. Here, take the list of what it takes to come and ask questions. Ijua Juju, take it and go first. Then you can come back with your family when you're ready. Ozoemena replied proudly as he handed a list to Kunle. Kunle apologized as he took the list. I'm so sorry, sir. I didn't know, he said humbly. But Ozoemena pardoned him, and after they had shared a few drinks, Kunle thanked him for his hospitality and shared his goodbyes and left their home. Later that evening, when Kunle returned to his home, he brought out the list that his supposed future father-in-law had given him, and he looked at it. There were 6 items on that list just to come and make inquiries of what it would take to marry their daughter. Number 1 on that list was a he-goat. Number 2 was 25 liters of palm oil. Number 3 on the list was 25 tubers of yam. Number 4 was 10 yards of akwoche. It went on and on and on. Immediately Kunle saw it. He just started laughing. Hey, wait though. Is this one just to come and make inquiries about what it would take to marry Ada? Then what would now be on the main bride price list if this one is just for asking questions? Ha! Can I really do this? Please, oh, I'm just a young doctor now. I just got licensed 3 years ago. How much have I saved? That will come and spend all my money on marrying Ada. Hey, and I love Ada, but this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous, he said to himself. So a few days later, he called Ada and said, Ada, have you seen the list that your father gave me for asking questions? It's too much. It's too much. I showed it to my people and they are crazy. They are all upset, Kunle said, looking worried. Another looked at him and said, Kunle, I'm sorry, but that is the way we do in my place. Our bride price list is very expensive, Ada said sadly. But this is not the bride price list now. This is just to ask questions, to know what it will take to come and marry you. This is unfair now. Where do you expect me to get this kind of money to buy all these things on this list? Okay, if I gather money to buy all these things on the list, will I be able to buy the one that is on the bride price list? This is crazy. Is there a way you can please talk to your father for me to at least, soft pedal? This is too much for me. I'm a young doctor now. You know how much I am earning, please. We've not even talked about the wedding proper or what it will cost to marry. This is just come and ask, Haba, please talk to your father for me. Kunle pleaded with Ada. So later that night, Ada called her dad on the phone and said, Daddy, please now, how can you give my husband, he's a young doctor, that kind of list, just to come and ask questions? So it's too much now. Daddy, please now, he's just giving it to you. Can't you waive these things? Can't you waive most of them? Let him come with what he has now. Don't worry, he will still pay the bride price and all of that. Daddy, because Ada said to her father. But her father replied angrily and said, Mbano, come on, Buchapu, what are you saying? Do you know who you are? Do you know that you are my first daughter? You are Ada. Adam Bise, Ada Neru Kwano. If that young man cannot provide just that simple list, and he's here asking me to cut some things off, then he should better go and find somebody else to marry. Onye ofem mano. Biko. He's not good for you if he cannot pay just this little thing. Does he know how much I spent in raising you to become a medical doctor? Or the one easy? Is it easy? Tell him to go and sit down. If he does not want to pay, he should go and sit down. You're a beautiful girl. Many more men will come for you. In short, come back to the east. You are there in where? Ibadan, practicing. Biko, come back home. Ogene. Ozoemena replied angrily. So he refused to shift his ground and accommodate Kunle. So Kunle, on the other hand, told Ada that there was no way he could pay this as just a requirement to come and ask questions for what the bride price would be, and that he could not start something that he could not finish. If this was the list for just asking questions, then he wondered whether he would be able to afford the actual bride price. And so that was how he called off things with Ada. Ada was so sad. She wept and wept bitterly. But there was nothing she could do about it, because her father was bent on reaping the full fruit of his labor. Nothing missing, nothing deducted. So after a while, Ada decided to come back to the east so that she could better her chances of meeting her fellow Igbo people that would understand the culture of the Mbise people and would not see their bride price list as outrageous. So Ada moved back to Owerri and started practicing in a hospital. And in no time, she met a young man whose name was Ifeanyi. Ifeanyi was a handsome young man, and he loved Ada from the onset. Ifeanyi was from Enugu and was doing well for himself. And in a few months' time, they had graduated from just gisting and talking to actually becoming lovers. Ifeanyi loved Ada and wanted to settle down very quickly. So he spoke to Ada that he wanted to come and meet her people so that, they could take things further. And Ada told him, Ifeanyi, I'm an Mbise girl. You know how our bride price can be. Are you sure this is something you want to do? Ada asked, looking very sad. But Ifeanyi reassured her and said, Gene, Gene, are you looking at the person that you're talking to? Abumodogu, Abumodogu. Besides, I know that these things can be negotiated easily. My people will come and negotiate with your father and we can reach an amicable settlement. So do not bother yourself. Don't worry, I will handle this. So a few weeks later, an Ifeanyi came with the elders to come and see Ada's father. Ozuemena was so happy to see them and he received them very warmly. And in no time, they made their intentions known and they asked for the bride price list. And Ozuemena, who was so excited, ran inside and brought a truckload of paper as the bride price list and handed it over to them. Ifeanyi's father said, Nna, what I asked you for was the bride price list for our wife to be. I did not ask you for letters and invoices and all of that. Also bride price list that we asked for. Nothing else. His father said, looking shocked. Then Ozuemena smiled and said, my brother, this is the list. I know it is long, but this is the list. Ifeanyi and his people opened their mouth in shock. This list? This long list? Are you serious? How? They asked in confusion. And Ozuemena replied and said, that is the list. Do you know who you have come to marry? Adam Bise, a medical doctor for that matter. Have you seen how beautiful she is? How educated, how intelligent. This one is full package, your wife material. In short, this list is even too small. You should be begging to pay more. Ozuemena said proudly, yes, my in-law, we know that your daughter is educated, she's beautiful. That is not in contention. But Swanne, this list is much now. Are we coming to buy your daughter? We are coming to marry. We are not coming to buy her. She's not a thing that is being bought. Ifeanyi's father replied. Then Ozuemena looked at them and said, do not insult me. Okwa, you asked for bride price list. I have given it to you. Instead of you to say that you are not man enough to pay the list, you are here asking me if you want to buy my daughter. Do you know how much I've spent on her? All the things on the list, is it up to half of what I have spent on my daughter? Biko, if you don't want to marry, no problem. Please stand up and go. Do not insult me in my house. Ozuemena replied angrily. By this time, Ada, who had been eavesdropping on all the conversation, had started crying and weeping. So that was how Ifeanyi and his family stood up angrily and left their home. And immediately they left, she came out and started crying. Daddy, why are you doing this to me? Don't you want me to marry? This list is too much. Now, who will pay for this kind of list? Who will pay? Daddy, this is ridiculous. This is 21st century. Look at your list. It's as long as a red carpet. Who is going to pay for this list? Daddy, why are you doing this to me? Why don't you want me to marry? Ada said, crying. But Ozuemena simply ignored her and was busy fuming and muttering words to himself. I know my daughter's words. I know how much I have spent to train these children. Nobody will come and give me peanuts and take them away from me. That will not happen. Mba. No way. It will not happen. Ozuemena said, fuming to himself. So that was how Ifeanyi's relationship with Ada ended. Ifeanyi was so upset that as soon as he left their home, he blocked Ada on every means possible. Social media or phone call or Facebook or everywhere, he blocked her. Ada was so sad. But a few years later, she met a young man whose name was Chinedu. Chinedu loved Ada. Ada was his spec. Everything that he wanted in a woman. And in no time, he made his intentions known to her. And Ada looked at Chinedu and said, Chinedu, Chinedu, look at what has been happening. No, the bride price list is too much. Can you afford it? Then Chinedu told her and said, is there a way you can at least just snap the bride price list and show me? Let me see. And so Ada went back home one weekend and tiptoed into her father's room and took a screenshot, not of everything, no, just of a few pages of the bride price list and sent to Chinedu. And immediately Chinedu saw it, he screamed, Ogini, Ada, this is ridiculous now. This is not possible. Who will pay for all these things? Are you the first person to get married? Are you the only girl outside? Chinedu said. Then Ada knelt down and begged him and said, Chinedu, if you love me, we can work this out. I can support you. I can give you some money so that you can go and pay my bride price. We can bring our money together. I've been saving. I can give you what I have. You bring what you have and you can come and pay the bride price. My father is not willing to negotiate. He wants every single thing on that list. Ada said, crying. But he looked at her and said, Sophia Akwa, God forbid. How can I, Chinedu, Ozo one, Odogu one, Dimpa one, collect money from you to go and pay your bride price? And on the other hand, I cannot remove this kind of money from my business to come and pay your bride price. After paying your bride price, I will become poor. Ada, Biko, I'm not sure this will work. Please, let us just end it now. There's no need going to see your father. As far as I'm concerned, it's a waste of time. Biko, I wish you the best of luck. Only, I wish you the best of luck. Chinedu said as he called off things with Ada. Ada was so sad. She locked up herself in her room and wept for many days. So things continued like this for a few more years. By this time, Ada was so frustrated. A lot of suitors had come into her life but would not marry her because her father refused to negotiate on the bride price list. He stood his ground that he was going to reap every cent that he had put in their education and in their upkeep. Ada was so sad. She had lost more than 8 eligible suitors, and all these people had even gone ahead and gotten married and had children. Yet, she was still single. One day, Ada woke up. It was her 36th birthday. And she sat herself down and said, if I do not do something, I would remain single forever. Daddy is not willing to shift his ground on the bride price. He's not willing to negotiate. How can he be asking for such a ridiculous amount? It's too much. How can somebody be asking for 1 trailer load of yam, for 100 liters of palm oil, of 100 yards of George material, of a brand new Lexus car, of 3 plots of land? Am I a chattel? I've begged Daddy. I've begged him. He doesn't want to listen to me. I'm getting old. All my mates are married with children. All the men that have asked me to marry them are currently married. What do I do? Ada said as she cried. So that day, she went out and discussed with her friend Chioma. And Chioma listened to her and said, my dear, you are the one doing good, girl. You are the one wasting your time. You are the one that wants to be single. Don't you know what to do? Hey, you don't know what to do. So Ayana, stay there. You will be 40 years old without a husband to call your own because of your father. Ngwano, stay there. Then Ada looked at her and said, but Chioma, what can I do? What can I do? Please tell me. Ada said, already at the verge of tears. Then Chioma looked at her and said, my dear, find a man that you love and get pregnant for him, and tell me if your father will not hurriedly give you away to avoid shame. Chioma replied, but I cannot do it. I am Ada Mbise. I have to marry well. If not, my younger sisters will not marry well. It will be a shame to my family. I can't just get pregnant out of wedlock. Besides, I'm a medical doctor. How do I explain to people that a doctor gets pregnant out of wedlock? Please, Ada said. Then Chioma looked at her and said, well, you are not tired of your situation. When you are ready to do what you ought to do, then you can let me know. But for now, keep wallowing in your self-pity. I've told you the solution. You're here saying, Madam Bise, Madam Bise. Oh yeah, now, enjoy your Adam Bise as a single woman. That is about to clock 40. Well done, oh. Enjoy it. Well done. So throughout that day, Ada could not just focus. She kept on thinking on all that Chioma had said. And she realized that it was a great plan. That was the only way out. So a few months later, she met another handsome young man whose name was Lotana. Lotana loved her so much and declared his intentions without even wasting time. He told her pop and plain that he wanted to marry her. But Ada took out time and explained to him all the things that she had suffered from her father's hands because of the bride price list and how she had lost a lot of suitors and how it would also be the same way if he was not willing to pay that kind of money for her bride price. So she told Lotana of her plan, that he should impregnate her first. And when she was heavily pregnant, let's say 7 months pregnant, then she would go and introduce him to her father as the man that she wanted to marry and see if her father would not accept him or not. Lotana already loved her so much and told her, see my dear, I do not want to impregnate you out of wedlock. I want to make an honorable woman out of you. But if you think that this is the only way out, then we'll do it your way. But because I cherish you, I honor you, and I value you, I think we should go ahead and do a statutory marriage in court before getting you pregnant so that way I do not pregnate you out of wedlock. I just want you to know how much you mean to me, Lotana said. And this made Ada very happy. So they went ahead and married in secret at the marriage registry. And a few months later, Ada got pregnant for Lotana, but they kept it very quiet. And by the time her pregnant belly was now big and protruded, then Ada took him to her father to introduce him to her dad as the man that she wanted to spend the rest of her life with. When Ozoemena saw his daughter, his first daughter, his pride and strength, Adam Bise, heavily pregnant, he screamed, Ada, Ada, abomination. Can you hear me? What have you done to me? What has this girl done to me? Ada has killed me. Ada has brought shame on me. Ada, you got pregnant. You got pregnant for a man that has not paid your bride price. Ada has killed me. She has brought shame to me. I will become the laughing stock of all my people. And that was how Ozoemena kept on lamenting and crying. And by the time he was done crying and lamenting, Ada just looked at him and said, Dad, this is the man responsible for my pregnancy and he wants to marry me. I don't know. Are you willing to collect what he has, or do you want to bring your bride price list? Do you want me to give birth out of wedlock? It all depends on you. Anyone you want is okay by me. Ada replied. Ozoemena was speechless. He did not even know what to say. Hey, Ada, what you have done to me. Oh my God. Then he looked at the young man, Lotana, and said, Ew. Okay, it is well. Then he looked at them and said, people must not know that my first daughter is pregnant out of wedlock. So young man, bring your people here tomorrow. We are going to do a parlor ceremony. I will hand her over to you. Just bring a few things. I will send you the list. Bring a few things and come and do it tomorrow in the parlor. No music, no fanfare, just a simple thing. People must not find out that my daughter is pregnant out of wedlock. Oh, Ada Igbo Ozoemena said sadly. But Ada did not give a hoot. She did not care. She had gotten what she wanted. So the next day, Lotana brought his people. It was a very small ceremony in the parlor. All Ozoemena collected from him was dry gin, some cola nuts, and 30 naira. And the wedding took place. And Lotana and his wife Ada went back home very happy. Ada was so happy that finally she was now a married woman. Oh, and she and her husband would gist and gist as they remember all that had happened. Meanwhile, Ozoemena was very sad. He was very sad that he had lost the opportunity to claim a very huge bride price from his first daughter, Ada. And a few months later, Ada gave birth to two beautiful babies, twin boy babies, and they were so excited. And she lived happily ever after with her husband, Lotana. Meanwhile, Ada's younger sisters, Chinelo and Ifunanya, had seen all that transpired between Ada, their older sister, and their father. So they did not even waste their time because they had learned a very huge lesson from Ada and their father. So both Chinelo and Ifunanya intentionally got pregnant for the men that they wanted to marry before they came to introduce the man to their father. And their father too, out of shame that he did not want people to know that his daughters were marrying after being pregnant, did a parlor wedding for them and collected just something very small from their husbands. And that was how all three daughters got married without Ozoemena receiving the bride price that he had envisaged and hoped on for several years. Ozoemena was so sad. For many years, he would sit outside in front of his house thinking, his hopes had been bashed. He wished that he had handled things differently. Then maybe his two younger daughters would not have intentionally gotten pregnant before getting married. He regretted his actions. He wished that he could turn back the hands of time, but it was already too late. Hi besties, it's your favorite storyteller, Omalicha. Thank you so much for watching my story to the end. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on this one as usual. What do you think? Okay, first of all, I have a few questions. Number one is, if you're from a place that, the bride price list is ridiculous, please tell me, would you assist your future husband, your husband-to-be, in paying your bride price? Just the same way Ada wanted to assist one of her suitors? Or do you think it's an abomination to assist your husband-to-be to pay your bride price? Do you think that it will make him not respect you? And he could say things like, after all, you begged me to pay your bride price. They even gave me money to pay your bride price. Do you think it's something you can do if you're from a place where the bride price list is just ridiculous? That's one. Now, secondly, do you think that Ada did the right thing by getting pregnant for her man, since her father had been rejecting all her suitors, just so she could get married? Then do you also think that it was fair to Ozoemena, knowing that he had anticipated his bride price for a very long time, calling his children akpa rice, bag of rice, my London visa, my Lexus 350 and all that? Do you think that he deserved to be robbed of that expectation with the way his three daughters went ahead and got pregnant for their husbands-to-be, even without the bride price payments? Then lastly, if you're from Mbise, like Mbise, Ada Mbise, I want to hear from the horse's mouth. Please tell us your experience with this whole bride price thing. We all know that your bride price is like the highest in the whole of Igbo land, Nigeria. So let us know your personal experience during your marriage as regards the bride price. Thank you so much. I can't wait to read all your feedback in the comment section. And please don't forget to support your home girl. my Licha, by subscribing to my channel, liking my videos, and sharing with your loved ones. So now, until I come your way again with more interesting stories, bye.